Good morning, everyone. This is Ivan, and welcome back to the Ivan Rides YouTube channel. Today, we're taking the Nami BurnE, and we're going for a ride into the city. On this ride, I want to talk to you guys about something pretty important, and that is lithium-ion battery fires, and how these fires are affecting me, how these fires are affecting the people that I know, and what I'm doing to try and stop my building from potentially banning PEVs altogether. Whether you're here for the sights and sounds of New York City, or you want to stay along for the topic, sit back, relax, enjoy the ride. It's good to have you on board today. Since my channel is primarily focused on the usage of an e-scooter and e-bikes, you know, we all knew that this video was coming eventually. So I don't know how it is in your part of the world or your part of the country, but here in New York City, battery fires are quite the hot topic at the moment. Every week, it feels like there's another article being written on something that has to do with battery fires, and every other week, it seems like there's another house that burned down, another business that got burned down, another life was taken, and just another fire in general, which it makes me really sad because that is the legacy of personal electric vehicles. And since there's a lot of news coverage on the fires at the moment, the general public is scared. And with that fear, there comes a backlash towards our community. And that's something that we all have to deal with here in New York City. Now, most of us are not necessarily worried about New York City banning PEVs, because New York City's economy, as much as they don't want to admit it, relies very heavily on the use of electric bikes and electric scooters to keep the small businesses and the large businesses going. So I don't see New York City ever banning the use of personal electric vehicles. And to my point, we've actually seen New York City start implementing solutions across the board. So for those of us in the community, we know that some of the biggest reasons for these fires are the use of poor quality batteries, to the mistreatment of these batteries and abuse of these batteries, and 3, people that are unqualified to work on them are working on them. So that's what's causing the issues, and New York City is kind of targeting that with their solutions. And just because New York City sides with the delivery unions and the PEV users doesn't mean that's going to be the same case across the board. Unfortunately, the individual landlords and the individual management companies can still ban you from having a PEV on site. And for those of you guys that have been with the channel for a while, you know that's something that I've been battling with for quite a while now. I don't necessarily have the best relationship with some of my neighbors because of the passive-aggressive comments and just how nasty they've become over the last couple of years because of my use of e-bikes and e-scooters. And you know, that really takes its toll on you on a daily basis because you're exhausted from work, and now you got to deal with this craziness once you get back into your own building. It's gotten to the point that it's almost become harassment for those of us that use this form of transportation, and it sucks, you know, it really does suck. But lately, it's begun to escalate. We've had some of the male and female Karens in the building kind of banding together and handing out leaflets stating things like, "This is dangerous to us all. All e-scooters and all e-bikes should be banned. They're all weapons. If it quacks like a duck and walks like a duck, it's a duck. So let's ban it all." And to see them doing this, it worries me again, because I've already started seeing some of my acquaintances and friends in the community get their PEVs banned in their buildings. Like one day they'll just come home and their landlord is like, "Don't ever bring that thing in here again." And my biggest fear is them doing the same thing in my building. And as I started seeing this pattern emerge in the building, I started thinking of solutions, because I wasn't just gonna sit back and let them take my Super 73 and my Nami away from me. So initially what I started doing was I started having conversations with these angry neighbors of mine, you know, trying to educate them on batteries, battery cells, battery management, showing them the literature from FDNY, you know, just trying to enlighten them, and hopefully they were willing to talk. But that wasn't necessarily the case. If you've ever tried to speak to someone who's made up their mind and completely unwilling to change, you know it's like talking to a brick wall, and it's quite frustrating. And that's how the experience was. It was extremely frustrating, extremely angering, but you know, I had to try. I was ready to give up, and then one day it came to me. I was just like, why am I talking to the people who aren't going to change their mind, and who honestly have no power over what happens in the building? I was like, I should be speaking to the decision makers. And that's when the idea came to me. I was like, you know what? I should strike first. In situations like this, generally the people who bring up their case first have a stronger case with the decision makers. So in my building, the decision makers are the board of directors and the management company. So what I did was I found their emails and I reached out to them. Now I had the option of being a complete jerk about it. I could have been like, you know, this is outrageous, how dare you, blah, 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 blah. But I didn't want to approach it in that way. So this is a summary of what I put in that email. And I said, "Hi, my name is Ivan. I am a resident of your building, and just like everyone else, I too am concerned by this growing problem of battery fires that's happening in New York City. I, for one, am really happy to see New York City take steps towards the banning of these dangerous, poorly made batteries and starting to regulate what's happening here in New York City." And I proceeded to kind of offer my services to the building. I said that I'll be more than happy to do a presentation for the board of directors and the management company to share my knowledge about what's going on with the battery fires, and I would be more than happy to present solutions that can be quickly and easily implemented. Because I believe that it's possible to give the residents that are scared peace of mind, while allowing those of us who rely on these personal electric vehicles the ability to continue using them. And then from there, I told them that I have two solutions that I'd like you to hear out. First solution will cost the individual owners money, and the second solution will cost the building money, but it's also easily implemented. I finalized the email with "I look forward to hearing from you," because at the end of the day, all I need is the opportunity to chat with you and present solutions, because I don't believe that banning micromobility in a city like New York is the way to go. And I sent it. You know, I sent that email without any real expectations. I wasn't sure if they were going to ignore me. I wasn't sure if they were going to hear me out. But to my surprise, a week later, I get a email from the board, and they're like, "We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to pick your brain about this topic because it is something that comes up constantly." And we'd love to schedule a time once things start to settle down after these projects to have the conversation with you. Even though, yes, it is a win, that's just the first step. And right now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to plan for the presentation so that I have a cohesive and strong argument. I'm also trying to package the two solutions that I have, and just to kind of give you a preview of what my solutions are. One of the solutions is to have everyone with a PEV register it with the management company, and then during registration we give them a informational packet that has all the information from FDNY in it, that has some of the best practices in there from FDNY, and we get them to purchase a fire protection bag. I personally use Fire Sack, but they can use whatever they'd like. So that's option one. And then option two would be taking some of the empty space that is in the garage and converting it into a secure storage room for those of us with PEVs. Because if they're worried about having the PEVs in the apartment, why not create a separate storage room for them here in the building? And all I can do is hope that it's enough to convince them to not go with an all-out ban. Now, do I know if this is going to work? Absolutely not. Because I know some of these people on the board are friends with these folks that are completely anti-PEV, and they're just anti-change in general. So it's going to be an uphill battle. But like I said earlier, I'm not going to let these guys take this away from me and take my Nami and my Super 73 away from me without a fight. And I just hope that this can lead to a conversation between the board, us, and the people that are angry. But if poop hits the fan and the board still opts to go for the ban, at least I can say that I did everything I could within my power to try and stop them from banning PEVs altogether. Because like I said, I really do enjoy this hobby. I really enjoy my Nami and I really enjoy my Super 73. But sometimes there are things that are outside of your control. But just make sure that you do the best that you can so that you can potentially influence those factors that are outside of your control. At the end of the day, the future of PEV content on this channel will be affected by the decision of these people. But I have started looking into sleeper PEVs like the Onyx LZR and the Specialized Terra. So all won't be lost. I know that most of you are here for the Nami and Super 73 content, but I hope that you'll continue to support the channel should we have to pivot the PEV that we use into either an Onyx LZR or another sleeper e-bike. Anyways, that's it for me today. I hope that wasn't too heavy or too crazy. Now, if you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you feel like that the presentation information that I did would be helpful to someone in the PEV community, please share it with them. If you've had some success with dealing with your landlord or the decision makers in your building, please share it in the comment section down below. I would definitely appreciate any help with crafting this presentation. And I'm sure the others in our community would appreciate seeing the information that's worked for you. And if you enjoy the content that I'm making and want to join the iBurnRides family, make sure you hit that subscribe button. There's a little icon there on the bottom right of the screen. Just click on it and it'll subscribe you to the channel. And when you subscribe, just make sure you hit that bell notification so that I can notify you anytime that we release a video. Other than that, it was a pleasure having you on board today. As always, I appreciate you joining me for this ride. Thank you for all your support, and I will see you on the next ride. Peace out, everyone.